responsible for international sales, and also I'm responsible for, I'm the general manager of Grecom Technologies. And I'm going to be the person conducting today's webinar, where we're going to be approaching all the different solutions that we have for the renewable industry. Okay. First of all, I would like to do a very brief introduction of our company. Okay, Grecom Technologies is a company that was founded in 2005. It is specialized in developing real-time image analytics, and we are very specialized also on thermal imaging. That is our biggest area of expertise. Currently, we have like around 30 different solutions developed by ourselves. And also what we do is we market solutions from third party, but our main business is our own solutions, and that is where we focus more on. We export right now to 64 countries. Our main markets are the Middle East, North and South America, and Southern Europe. That will be that is in the following order. And then one of the key advantages that our company has is that we can offer the full chain of value. That means that we have our own R&D department, which is responsible not only for just developing our own solutions, but also is responsible for customizing or adapting to the requirements of each one of the projects that we are involved in. Also, we have an integration department, which is responsible to integrate our solutions with existing security platforms, such as new VMSs, new cameras coming up, new access control platforms, and so on. And then we have the pre-sales department, which is the one that supervises and makes sure that all the camera deployment and the configuration of the system is correctly configured, so we don't have any problems. And then we have the after sales and the project maintenance, which is responsible for solving any potential problems that might show up with our solutions. Here I'm gonna give you a scope of our portfolio of solutions. Okay, so we have 9 areas that we cover. So this is, I mean, we have perimeter surveillance, which we're going to be talking today about it. We have marine surveillance. Also, we have solution that we're going to be talking about. We have a VMS. We have 2 types of VMSs. We have a VMS with artificial intelligence, and then also we have a VMS without artificial intelligence. Then we have on cybersecurity, we have the data loss prevention solution. Facial recognition, we have access control, demographic analysis, I don't know, blacklist, ticket validation, loyalty programs. There is plenty of things that we can do with the face recognition. On the automation and safety is maybe where we have more solutions right now. So we have a personal protective equipment monitor, cell monitor, which we're going to be talking today, flame for the oil and gas tank, for the oil and gas transformer, which we'll be talking also today about it, engine leak detector, catenary, and so on. Okay, so this is the industrial area might be the area where we are more consolidated or where we are developing more things. And then on the fire prevention and detection, we have the 10 threshold and the Watchman. 10 threshold is a solution for detecting fires on industrial scenarios, and Watchman is a solution for the wild forest. And then on retail, we have the OnTrace, which is a retail analytics just to monitor the counting people, figuring out the conversion ratio between people coming into the shop and sales and so on. Okay, so this will be a very brief resume of everything that we can offer. Excuse me. We're going to divide today's webinar in 2 main areas. First of all, we're going to have the security solutions, and then secondly, we will go on the safety, or on the automation and safety. Okay. Okay, the first solution that we would like to talk to you is the perimeter surveillance. Okay, this is one of the most demanding solutions, especially as you know, in some countries, the fact of the Cooper There is a lot of people that steal it. So perimeter surveillance, and also since most of the solar plants are in remote locations, so the security, perimeter security is very important. Okay, so here we have two different solutions. Once the most popular in this area, or the most demanded one, it is Sentinel. This is a solution that is a very long range detection. Is very it's accurate. I mean, we can guarantee a percentage of 2 to 5% of false alarms. Has multiple detection rules. Has intrusion, line crossing, prowling, abandon object, remove object. Has like you have like multi-rule correlation, so we can also avoid animals and so on. The key advantage of this solution is the very long range. So here I'm going to give you an example of the distances. Okay, so for example, with this, I'm putting some examples here with an Axis Q1941 with a 19 millimeter. We can detect like around 250 meters away. Meanwhile, our competitors reach 195. Okay, so we're talking like around 25% or over on the detection range. With the 35 millimeter camera, we can detect like around 370 meters. Meanwhile, our competition is around 277. So we go 100 extra meters away. And then if we go with a 60 millimeter, we can reach from 500 to 550. And then our competitors are like around 375. Okay, and this is with the 320 by 240 resolution, which is the lowest resolution on the thermal cameras. If we go on the 640 480, the detection goes much far away. Okay, we can go like around maybe 20% farther than our competitors and than these distances that we are mentioning here. So what is the key advantage of such a long detection range? Okay. Here, for example, this is I made a comparison of quotations between going with us and going with the competition. So, for example, this is a project. Our competitors were going with 44 cameras. We went with 33. So here we save like around 30,000 euros. And then on the staffs, okay. So instead of having 44, we have 33. So you also save a lot of money here on the analytics. You save a little bit of money. The analytics part is just around 7% of all the civil work. So it is the discount in the difference. It doesn't make much difference. And the VMS also, we can save some money in the closet. We save a lot of money on the server. So at the end of the road, what we're doing is between this on the same project, going with the competition or going with us, you can save up to like around 75,000, 60 or 76,000 euros. So this is like around 22%. So this is comparing two solutions server-based. Now, a question that you might have is, okay, how is it possible to detect at such a long distance? Okay, we can detect at such a long distance basically because our algorithms or the analytics have been developed specifically for thermal imaging cameras. So what we do is we control the contrast of the camera. We adjust the contrast of the camera to the region of interest. So basically what we do is we control the image contrast of the camera. That gives us some very competitive advantage versus our competitors, okay? And that is the reason why we can reach so far. Now, if you ask me, is it possible to be able to auto-classify the objects when you are like 400 or 500 meters away? The answer is no, simply because the size of the object is too small, so we are not capable of identifying the object. So we are not capable of distinguishing between a human crawling and an animal, a dog, for example, okay? However, we have like what we call it the correlation rule that what it will do is would allow us to set up like different rules, and then unless the person goes over, let's say 2 or 3 rules, we will not trigger the alarm. So that is the reason why we can reach such a low percentage of false alarms. Okay. And this comparison that I did just here is server-based solutions. Now, if we compare our solution or our embedded solution, okay, for example, if we compared the server-based versus the embedded, we save like around 7%. But if we compare our competitors versus the embedded version, we save like around 27%. Okay, so it's 94,000 euros cheaper our solution. Now, in case that you want to go with a little bit with a solution with artificial intelligence, we also have the perimeter lookout. This is a solution that has artificial intelligence, can identify the objects, can classify the objects, has multiple detection rules, and then also can discriminate animals, vegetation, insects, shadows, light changes, raindrops, and so on. Both solutions are compatible with all the main VMSs available on the market. We are compatible with Milestone, Genetec, Goitebrook, Pelco, Avigilon, EDIS, Cathesics, Chameleon, Latitude, Hitachi, HBS, Digifort. So pretty much with all the main VMSs available on the market, we are compatible. And then also we are compatible with most of the alarm monitoring center softwares, okay? So in case that we connect the facility to the alarm monitoring center, also we can communicate with them and it will work out, okay? Here is a video of, for example, this is the thermal imaging. Okay, as you can see on the center image, is very shaky, and still we don't generate false alarms by the movement, and still we can be quite accurate on the detection. And then if you look at the upper left corner and the right, you see that the object is quite a far away, and then the contrast is not so good, and still we can detect it. Okay, so this is, I mean, for very large perimeter, we always recommend to go with the Sentinel with thermal image cameras. And then for small perimeters or very secure areas, we recommend to go with the perimeter lookout. Okay, we're gonna move on to the next solution. Okay, now we're gonna be talking about the VMS. So here we offer a VMS with artificial intelligence. And this is this VMS is certified by the ISO 27001, and it was the winner of the Red Dot in 2021 as the smarter solution. Okay, so let me explain you what is the difference between a VMS with artificial intelligence, a VMS without artificial intelligence. A VMS without artificial intelligence, that is a traditional VMS. Basically what it does, it records 24/7 and then also manages all the events or all the alarms of the different analytics connected to the VMS. Okay. A VMS with artificial intelligence, basically what it does is, besides recording 24/7, at the same time that you are recording, the solution, what it's doing is auto-classifying. For example, if you see a human, hold on, let me just put this on. If you see a human, the VMS is going to classify it as a human. It's going to take a image capture of the face, so we can search by face recognition. Also, it's going to classify the type of clothing. It's going to classify the gender, and then also it's going to classify the color of the clothing. In case that we go on a vehicle, it's going to classify the license plate number, the color of the vehicle, the type of vehicle, and the model of the vehicle. So all this is being done automatically. So what is the key benefit of this VMS with artificial intelligence? First of all, that in case that you want to do a forensic search, instead of going through hours and hours of video recording, basically what you have to do is you just have to enter whatever you're looking for, and the VMS is gonna download all the videos that match your search criteria. That is one of the key advantages. The second key advantage is that the VMS, besides including the recording or the VMS license, also includes 4 different analytics on the same price. So that is, you have perimeter surveillance, face recognition, license plate recognition, and sound analytics on the same price as the VMS license. So it's kind of like a bundle package. Okay. Also with this VMS, you can do access control. And then also you can do people tracking. So always, as long as the person is on the field of view of the cameras, you can track how that person move inside the premises. Okay, and then also you can do people counting. You can also do heat maps and so on. Here I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put you an example of what is the architecture. We have two options. You can either go with our own cameras. Okay, the key benefit of going with our own cameras, it is that the analytics run embedded into the cameras, and also the recording runs embedded into the cameras. So in case that you go with our cameras, there is no need for server. So the cameras can connect directly through the cloud, and then you can access to the real-time image. You can access to the cameras from real time, or you can access to the videos through the cloud. Okay. In case that the cloud option is not accepted, I mean, you can use these cameras, and also you can go through the server. Okay. In case that we try to implement this solution on a project where the cameras are already deployed, we can also do it. The only thing that we will need is what we call it the cloud connector. This is a server where we have the analytics and also the recording. And then in order to access to the cameras, always, as long as your workstation is connected to the same network as the server, you will be able to access on real time to the cameras, and then also to the recording. Okay. So here what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put you a video on how the search tool solution works.
Welcome to AvaWare. Today we're going to cover search. Search is a tool that allows us to search for specific events that may have occurred across one or multiple cameras. This allows us to search for things like the appearance of a person or a vehicle, a line cross event where a vehicle or person has crossed a specific virtual line that we've drawn, loitering events where a person or a vehicle may have been stationary for too long in one place, indicating something like an idling vehicle that may be outside of a loading dock or outside of an airport, or a person that may just be acting suspiciously in an area that they should not be. We can also alert on sound detection, and this leverages the onboard sound detection in our AvaWare cameras that can detect things like glass breaks, loud noises, smoke alarms, and many more audio models that are being added with each release. So, for example, if we were to create a line cross search, what we can do is we can choose what kind of objects we want to search for. We can stick with any or go down to a specific person. This person can be specified based on gender or based on the attire that they're wearing in the top or the lower quadrant of their body, and you can combine both colors as well, looking for people in uniforms or based on a description that was given by a third party. We can also leverage an image. If someone has captured a cell phone image of this person or vehicle, we can upload that in order to do a search based on these detections. Then we can choose where we want to do this detection. So this detection can take place, for example, on a camera in a parking lot. It could also happen inside of a building. So if we were looking for people that may have been in front of a register, we can choose one or multiple cameras and then choose the line that we want these objects to be crossing in order to qualify for the detection. We can choose the direction of travel of this object. And in the case of something like a convenience store, if we're just looking for anyone that is walking out, as this person just did in this example, we can unclick the entering direction so that we're only looking for the direction of travel out the door. And then we can choose the time period that we're searching for. This can be anywhere from specific minutes down to a block of time that may be days or hours. And in our case, when we're just looking for the last 30 minutes worth of search, we're presented with all of the events that correspond to our search criteria. So in our case, we're looking for people that are exiting And if I highlight over that video, we're going to see the people that are exiting. I can click into this video to see it in greater detail. This will allow me to see not only the event that occurred, but the object within our floor plan as that user exits this building. I can then click to act on that activity. But we can also see in our parking lot as a person was crossing that virtual line that we created. So this allows us to very quickly get to the events that matter to us and then act on them. These different video clips that we have captured here can then be exported. So we can take the relevant information by clicking the plus, and we can choose to share or save. So we can export this as an MP4. We can share this as a publicly accessible link. We can bookmark it so that these video clips do not get deleted by typical retention. And of course, we can also do similarity searches if we want to look for people that are similar to the objects that have been detected in these environments. Now, you're also presented with the ability to create a rule. We have a whole nother section dedicated to creating rules based off of searches as well as other parameters. I implore you to check that out.
Okay, one thing that I didn't mention is on the VMS. I mean, what you can do is you can work on real time, or you can work on over the video. That means, for example, you can set up rules, and then automatically, whenever something crosses the line or whenever there is an alarm, automatically it will pop up so the operator can manage it. And then also what you can do is you can have the cameras just recording, and then in case that you want to do search for something, you just can put the rules and then analyze that video based on the rules that you put it. Okay, so these are the two options. You can work offline, you can work in real time, or you can work over the recordings. Okay. Okay, the third solution that we would like to talk is the access control through face recognition. In this case, we can offer you a solution with a 99.87% of accuracy without face mask, and then with face mask 98.6. Okay, this has been certified by the NIST in United States. And then we have our own API, so it can work standalone, or we have the SDK in case that we need to integrate it with an existing access control platform. It is compatible with all operating systems: Windows, Mac, Linux, Android, and iOS. And then it is, I mean, it can work on premise, it can work embedded, or it can work on the cloud. So you have all the options. Here is the device that we offer is we call it a scan, and this is kind of like a small device, which is about 11 centimeters by 11, has a 3D camera, infrared lighting, microphone, and a speaker. This device can support a database of up to 20,000 people. Okay, can work indoors or outdoors. It is compatible with all the access control platforms, OSDP, WIGAN, and then can work with the infrared lighting, allow us to work on adverse weather lighting conditions. And then also the 3D camera allow us to detect when someone is trying to supplant the identity, which is anti-spoofing. Okay, so in case that someone goes with a picture, someone goes with an image, and is trying to supplant identity, the system will recognize it and it will not accept the entrance. Okay. Here I'm gonna show you a video on how this solution works.
Introducing SaferScan, the first full-featured intelligent biometric access control edge solution priced for broad-based applications. SaferScan is fast and touchless to expedite safe pedestrian traffic. And SaferScan works as well in outdoor locations as it does inside, even in challenging lighting conditions. SaferScan's advanced algorithms and 3D liveness ensure accurate identification and authorized access, while unknown individuals will be rejected, and real-time alerts are automatically issued if tailgating is detected. Management reports capture every entry for audit and compliance reviews. A self-contained PoE solution, SaferScan is also fast and easy to install. Plus, SaferScan works with leading access control platforms. High-performance biometric access control made affordable. Only with SaferScan.
Okay, we're gonna move on, and then the next solution is Coast Guard. This is a solution that has been demanded for to monitor the wind turbines on offshore wind turbines. Okay, basically this solution is to detect the small or large vessels or floating objects. It has a very long detection range. I mean, the minimum target size is 2 pixels, doesn't generate false alarms by the waves, and doesn't generate false alarms by the sun reflections. We can position the objects with UTM or GPS coordinates, so we can position the objects on a map. Okay, it is integrated with all the main VMSs as previous solutions, so we are compatible with pretty much all of them. It has multiple detection rules. Okay, so this solution works with thermal cameras. It can work with fixed or PTC. Okay, so in most of the cases, what they do is they deploy the PTC because with just one camera you can monitor 360-degree area. So that is a big plus. Here I'm going to show you a video. Let me just move forward because it's a little bit too long. Okay, this is a video on how the detection, on how we figured out the GPS coordinates. We send it to the PTC camera for verification, and then as you can see, the camera is moving from one target to the other, and it is always tracking all of them, and the object is always on the center of the image, and depending on how far the object is from the camera, the zoom changes. Okay, so basically always as long as the objects that we are detecting are in the field of view of the camera, what we do is we are refreshing the position in real time. So we can do auto tracking always as long as the object is on the field of view of the camera. Okay. As you can see, I mean, here the weather conditions are quite calm. So there is not many waves. Okay. But still, I mean, with the reflection and with the movement of the sea, there is no alarms whatsoever. Okay, now we're going to move on to the safety solutions. The first solution that we would like to talk to you is what we call the transformer monitor. Usually we use this solution to monitor all the key components on power substations or transformers. Okay, so how this solution works, basically what we do is we are monitoring all the key components. We compare similar components with each other under the same atmospheric conditions and under the same performance conditions. So we put them all together, we compare together, and then we see if either one of those components is overheating versus the rest of them. Okay, so and also we set up some temperature thresholds. So whenever we reach a specific temperature, automatically we set an alarm. Okay, so what is the key benefit of this is we can anticipate to a failure. So whenever we see that there is one of the components is overheating, that means that on the short term is going to have a problem. So currently, most of these power substations or the transformers are being monitored manually and periodically. Okay, with this solution, you can monitor 24/7. So you are constantly receiving the information on how the transformer or the power substation is performing. Okay, so this is a very cost effective on spare parts and reparations. Okay, this solution can work with fixed or PTC cameras. Okay, has the simultaneous radiation and distance configuration. This is very important. Depending on how far the object is, you need to correct the temperature reading simply because the energy dissipates with the space. The farther the object is from the camera, the less accurate the reading is. So depending on how far the object is from the camera, you need to correct the temperature reading in a way that you have an accurate reading. Okay. You can also do it. You can do an offline analysis. We record all the image in raw format, so you can move the mouse through the image and you will figure out the temperature of each one of the objects that you think is overheating. Okay, and then, as I said, it can work with fixed or with PTC cameras. Okay, Another solution is the fire detection. This is the 10 threshold, as we said before. This is a solution to detect fire. Here, basically, what we do is we take the whole image, we set up a temperature threshold, and then whenever there is an object that exceeds that temperature threshold, we just mark it, and then we analyze the behavior. Let me explain you this. What is the analyzing the behavior means? Imagine that there is a machinery working on the field of view of the camera, and the engine or the brakes or the exhausting tube might be at the same temperature as the we have set up the analytics for. Okay, so what we do when we say we analyze the behavior is, for example, a fire stays fixed on a specific point, increases the size very rapidly, and then also increases the temperature very rapidly. For example, when you are a machinery, the temperature stays steady, the object doesn't increase the size, and then also is moving around the field of view of the camera. So we do a double analysis. First of all, we analyze by temperature, and then secondly, we analyze by the behavior. This double analysis, what it does, it allows us to be very accurate. We can guarantee almost 100% of accuracy in this solution, and we can discriminate machinery so it doesn't trigger any false alarms. Here, I'm going to show you an example of a fire detection. This is a paper factory. As you saw, it takes about 2 to 3 seconds before we detect it. The reason why it takes 2 to 3 seconds is simply because what we do is we generate a background, and then we compare the real-time image versus that background. Whenever we see that there is a change, okay, and then the behavior matches what we have set up the analytics for, that is when we trigger the alarm. And the last solution that we would like to introduce you is the personal protective equipment monitoring. So this is a solution that what we do is we use to guarantee or to make sure that all the employees, whenever they are accessing into the facilities, all of them are wearing the right equipment, such as helmets, protective glasses, protective boots, reflective vest, ear protection, and so on. So here, basically what we do is we generate a model of all the objects that we need to detect, and then what we do is whenever they accessing, we guarantee that all the employees are wearing the right equipment. Also, what we can do is we can monitor the people on the work area. But for example, imagine that we are in a solar plant that is the extension is so big, so we will need so many cameras to guarantee that all of them is wearing, that it will not be very cost effective. Okay. Also, what we can do is we can do people tracking. Okay. So what we can do is also always, as long as we have a Wi-Fi connection on the plant, what we can do is we can do people tracking. So in case that there is any accident, so we can figure out what was the last location of that specific worker, so we can go and rescue. Now, what I would like to do is I would like to share with you some success cases on the renewable and solar plants. Okay, we work with Excelio. We have done several projects for them. Iberdrola, Dewa in Dubai, Sagaya in Kuwait, SunPower, Greenergy, Enel, I don't know, Martel. These are some big companies that we have done many projects for them. Okay. Also on the defense and law, for example, we work with the Saudi Royal Saudi Arabian Air Force. On the NATO headquarters, we are responsible for the access control. With the FBI, we have deployed our VMS with artificial intelligence. All the military bases in Spain, Marine, Air Force, and Army, we are responsible for the perimeter surveillance of all of them. On the oil and gas, we work together with the Axis cameras. So with Saudi Aramco, we are responsible for the perimeter surveillance. Okay, with EPSA, which is the largest oil company here in Spain, we do all the perimeter surveillance. Basra Gas, which is in Iraq, we do flame monitoring. With Repsol, we also do flame monitoring. So these are some success cases. We work with all the main distributors, Annexter, ADI, Ingram Micro, Okay, and then also some of the main installers. Okay, so this will be today's presentation. Here you have my contact details, my mobile telephone number, and my email address. And then also you have, in case that you request a demo of any of the solutions that we just talked to, or in case that you want to have a video call to go more in deep over any of the solutions that we just mentioned, you can do it through the website, or you just can contact me directly. In case that you have any questions, you can open your microphone or you can use your chat. So I will really happy to answer any questions that you might have. No one has an answer. I don't believe you. There is out of the 16 of you, no one has an answer. A question. Sorry. Do you have any plan to participate in Intersec in Saudi Arabia next month? I'm planning to visit. Intersec. Okay. We will not exhibit this year, but we will be visiting the area. Okay, what I'll do is I'll write down your name and then I'll book it. Okay, Julian, question, where can we find a copy of the presentation? We will be sending you on the next coming days, we will be sending you a copy of the presentation and then also a link to the video. So you will be able to review the video and then also to go over the presentation. Thank you. Thank you very much. Okay, thank you, Basil. Okay, thank you again to Don Lanley. Okay, well, I see that there is no questions. Once again, thank you very much for attending to today's webinar. I hope this was interesting for you guys. And then in case that you need anything, please feel free to get in touch with me. Once again, thank you very much and take care. Thank you. Bye-bye.